Hey, what's up, guys? I got another video here today, and this video is a different format. I'm trying to kill two birds with one stone. Me recording of a pre-recording of a game, and then also having a video of me video talking here. But I just wanted to do a different format from the normal format. It was just me talking and then adding some gameplay on the side. And I have to build that skill set to actually talk and play at the same time, which I haven't really built that skill set that very good. I could just talk more, and I actually critically think here a little bit more as if I'm just talking to you guys on the camera than just having to play, because I get very hyper focused on something, and then I'm just kind of not be able to talk about what I'm supposed to talk about. So and I can be more aware of what I'm talking about. And so here's the story. The story goes of my boss. My boss is very metrosexual, and I was working at Starbucks at the time, and I was working inside of a Vons, inside of a Starbucks, and we call them basically a small Starbucks kiosk. There's like five people working at this Starbucks, so I'm like one of the few chosen people to be working at this Starbucks, because every kiosk only has like about five of them, and I guess they couldn't really afford to actually add more people inside the kiosk, because we couldn't have like a six person. For some reason, it only had to be five. Five is the max limit. My boss, he's very metrosexual. Loves the soap opera videos, the Netflixes, the shows that I don't even know about, and the dramas that come up on the TV shows. And keep in mind, this is the era of like I think 2012 to 2014, around that time, like trying to figure out like what the shows he's talking about. And I'm like, nope, I don't understand any of those. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know NCI or NSI or CBS type shows. I have no idea. I'm pretty much, I live under a rock, essentially. My brain just shuts off from those. I just don't watch any of them because I'm not very interested in the shows that come up. I know about Game of Thrones, of course. It was very big, back then, and Game of Thrones was like a huge thing. I just didn't watch all of Game of Thrones. I just watched parts of it. Later on, he's like telling me all these shows. Very in touch with his feminine side, very flamboyant. I would say for myself. And later down the line, he has something to tell me. Like probably like a few months later down, when I'm working at the job, and he goes, he's like, Steven, I got something to tell you. It's very important that I got to tell you this. And let me tell you, after all, we take these customers' orders. So we get like a line of customers. I'm start taking the orders, and he's making all the drinks at Starbucks. After we get done being busy and finally finishing up and cleaning up a little bit, he goes over and he's like, all right, I got to tell you this thing, and it's super important. He's like hesitating at this point to like let out the words that he's supposed to let out. And instead of like letting out the words, he's like, you know what, I'm just gonna write it out. And then he goes over and starts to grab the chocolate bottle sauce, and a customer comes in at the same time, and I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta take the customer's order. I can't just be watching him making, like, writing out this chocolate sauce. The customer comes, and I'm like, hi miss, how can I help you today? What can I get for you? And then you get, oh well, can I get a caramel frappuccino with extra caramel with whipped cream and caramel on top? And she goes, all right. I'm gonna start doing the order and everything. It's like, all right, one caramel frappuccino with extra caramel with whipped cream on top, and anything else you want? That no, that's it. I was like, okay, it's gonna be 480, and I take her order. It gives like, all right, put the cup on the side, and then I look over and I see a written word, big words written out, and it says, "I'm gay." Like chocolate sauce written out, "I'm gay" on it, and I'm like, oh, okay, all right. So he's gay. My boss is gay. All right, cool. Moved on from it. And I'm like, yep, I don't think much about it. I'm not judging anything. I'm just like, oh, he's gay. That's it. And then, and he's like, yeah. And he goes, yeah, that's why I am. Yeah. He just shakes his head and nods at me. And I'm like, okay, yeah, understandable. I totally agree. You do you. And that's why I said, well, I'm like, you do you. And yeah, I understand. Okay, cool. And next thing you know, he tells my other coworker, and he's telling my coworker, he's like, man, he didn't react at all. He didn't really react to anything that I was gay. And I was like, well, of course, he's not gonna react to anything. That you're gay. I mean, I don't think he would really care, to be honest. And to be honest, I didn't really care. I was like, yeah, he's gay, and I just thought about it, and I'm like, okay, it's like, well, he's gay, and I'm straight, and as long as he's not hitting on me, I'm perfectly fine, whatever he wants to think, and everything worked out, of course, and he got a boyfriend later on, and till this day they're probably still together if I remember right, and I ran into him a few more times after I left the job, and he was still working at Bonds, but not actually working at the Starbucks at that point. He was working in produce in a different section, not working at the Starbucks, because Starbucks inside the store doesn't get any benefits whatsoever from like the normal Starbucks. So like Starbucks, like if you worked at an actual Starbucks like the store Starbucks, you get all the nice benefits of like being a Starbucks employee. At Bonds, you get the Bonds employee benefits, and if you've worked at a Starbucks kiosk, if anyone has worked at a Starbucks kiosk, would know that you don't get any of the Starbucks benefits from the store. You just get the Bonds. Was it the $25? Like if you spend like a $500 or something like that at Bonds, you get like a 5% discount. I don't even remember what it was, and to be honest, it wasn't that great. Like the stuff that you got at Bonds wasn't that great when I was working there. Like the benefits of working there, like they didn't give you that many benefits. I mean, sometimes you get those free lunch coupons that you could use at the deli, but anyways, not to stray from the story. I'm just saying that I'm glad that he moved away from that type of from being a Starbucks manager to like going into produce, something a little bit higher. But yeah, that's the story of my boss telling me that he was gay, and to this day, I think he's, like I said, they're still together with his boyfriend, and I'm hope he's still happy, doing good, and hope he's happy. So yeah. Anyways, see ya. Peace.